Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reverse Certification. Today from Houston, Texas, and yay, a hotel room on the 20th floor. So, really trying all the different places where we can run this. I'm sure, as have you. I've gotten feedback from a lot of you doing it all over the place too. So today, 20th floor in Houston. Here we go. That's my view out the window. So, yeah, how does it get any better than this? So, elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, poverts, and beyonds. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, poverts, and beyonds. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Okay. Yes. It's like a stony desert out there. Yes, there's some greenery, but mostly it has been plastered. But the earth is so incredible in the way that she does everything. She does not have a point of view about us running around building cities on top of her. But would it work better if we actually were in communion with her and asked her some questions about where to build and what to build? What would our cities look like if we were to ask more questions? And weirdly enough, my guess is too that really in the olden days there were a lot more questions asked, and maybe that's why some of the old cities look so beautiful to us. Just a thought. And not to make that right or us wrong or to come to conclusion. I've just always wondered what makes a building beautiful in your eyes. And there has to be an energy to it. Because to me, it's never about the architecture. So let's contribute to the earth having what it requires, even through all of this concrete, through all of these rocks and places we have covered the earth. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, poverts, and beyonds. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, poverts, and beyonds. And I just saw like a little reel on Instagram how trees are now being seen as having the possibility to care for one another. My God, I can't speak this morning. Sorry, guys. Which is interesting. I've always had that sense that nature was talking to each other and contributing to each other, but now it's scientifically proven. Trees are sending electronic messages through the fungi system. Here comes the fungi again, our fungi, but it's actually the little mushroom system in the earth that is used also by many, many, many plants for communication and the exchange of nutrients and just general information to one another. And that is really what gets disturbed the most when we're turning the earth for agriculture. So every time we plow, the exposure of the fungi to the sunlight, just by turning the soil, there's different oxygen levels, even if you just turning it spade deep. It is really a difference in oxygen, different in the way that the sunlight penetrates. And that is what has a huge impact on all the microbes, but also the fungi, the system in the soil. So that is what is creating desertification, the soil not being healthy enough to absorb water quickly. All the water runoff we're having everywhere, it's not just because it rains hard, it's because the soil cannot handle pulling that water in. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, pulvets, and beyonds. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, pulvets, and beyonds. And to me, it is so interesting how long it takes people to change something, especially when it comes to agriculture. We've been doing it like this for hundreds of thousands of years. Does that make it right? Just because we've been doing it forever, what does that mean? So, what energy, space, and consciousness can we be to allow with change, for change, with ease for everybody? Because it's so interesting. There's a lot of farming out there that does not turn the soil anymore, quite successfully farming with profit, with healthy soils, with higher yields. And yet the farmer next door still looks at it and goes, "What is this guy doing? I don't think it's good." Even though he has to sell his cows during a drought, and the farmer who's doing it differently doesn't and has more cows than he had in the first place, it can't be good. There must be some woo-woo going on over there. So how often have you, as the change agent, been seen as the witch and the warlock? And what if you're willing now to be that energy and really be the change that this earth is asking us to be? And wake up those people that are resisting change. And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, pulvets, and beyonds. elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And funny enough, I just received a message from Alejandro, the guy who came onto my property. If you haven't seen it, I made a little goat video and he's on that. It's in the link that I post every day with this. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And yay, I'm so grateful for all of you being all over the world running this process. What if we truly encompassed the entire earth? Let's be the change agent. Let's not be stopped by people's insanities. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Yay. I love where all of you are from. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And please be the energy of what you know. Be the energy of change. Be willing to stomp your foot. Elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. elimination and eradication of the microbiotic desertification of dermis, and the actualization of the microbiotic generative dermis for body and earth, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So please keep running this process, even if this broadcast stops. Run it 24/7, no matter where you are. And thank you all so much for being here. And I will see you again